it's still the same old stuff. But I figured out how we can figure out what the barrel pattern is going to be before we actually see them drop. The way I figured this out is rather simple. Okay, so you see two particles fell on screen, and that's like the start of the barrel pattern. Of course, we don't see any of the barrels on screen yet, but at this point I already know what pattern I'm getting, and the way I know this is looking at the very first particle that dropped. Now let's see, actually I should edit my settings real quick. I'm gonna see if I can put my mouse on the stream. I can't seem to do that. You can't see my mouse now, can you? Okay, yeah, you can't. Alright, so I'll just try to explain things since I can't show my mouse on the screen. What I was saying before, I'm looking at the very first particle that dropped. And you see the block that's next to that particle, just that last block on the edge there. If that particle overlaps that block, I'm going to get the early barrel pattern. If it falls ahead of the block like you see here, then I'm going to get a later pattern. The later pattern is what you want, because you can pretty much just keep going without stopping. I'm not sure if I can for this one actually, but I'll see. The movement is pretty tricky. That was weird. But yeah, just about. And you see the fourth barrel was like over here instead of, you know, all the way up here. Now let's get some different patterns so I can kind of prove my point. Alright, so this is like the exact opposite. The first particle dropped overlapping the block on the edge there, and it's actually more towards like the left of the block, so I know I'm gonna get a really early barrel pattern here. So I know when I jump to the ground here, I'm gonna have to just immediately stop for a moment because it's gonna drop right in front of me, just like that. And yeah, I was pausing and stuff, so I couldn't move correctly. Gonna get the same one again. And once again, I'm looking at the first particle that's dropped on screen there. I'm looking at that and the block that's right above it. If the particle overlaps that block, then you're gonna get an early barrel pattern. If it's not overlapping the block, you're gonna get a later pattern. And the later pattern is the fastest because you barely / don't have to wait at all for the barrels to drop. So although like this isn't like actual new strategies, I think this is very, very useful to where it might as well be a new strategy. I mean, I wish it was a time saver, but I mean, it might as well be. I think it's that useful for this part. So yeah, this one will be early. See, the fourth block dropped, or not block, the fourth barrel dropped all the way up here. So compare, get this fucker out of here. So compare the fourth barrel dropping here to over here. That's the time difference between getting the early pattern and the later pattern. Is that amount of time there between here and here. So let's say like 0, 1. It's like a second. Yeah, that's all there is to explain. I'll just do some more trials. Early pattern. Early-ish, like not as early as last time, but yeah. Really early, but I died. Later, but it was like, it's not like the later pattern that you want. It's like kind of in the middle, and you still lose a little bit of time because you can't just keep going. Has to be just a little bit later. Alright, really early. Like medium-ish. Call that like the early medium. I think there's 5 different barrel patterns if I remember correctly. That's really early. I'll just do a few more here. I'll try to get like the much later pattern. Medium, early. I said that backwards. Early, medium. I guess it doesn't matter. You guys know what I'm trying to say. Early. Really early. I keep getting the earlier ones. I just want to show one more of the late pattern, just to show the movement. I mean, I showed it already earlier, but it's been a little while since I got it. This is like medium. That was like medium late. I mean, that barely lost anything, so that's good enough.